peddler said this nail was the closest to her right hand.
You fool! You'd believe him if he told you it was Sabrina's shin bone. He ripped you off.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans. Hallowed and highly valuable.
I'm interested in objects that belonged to the soldiers who perished in the battle 3 years ago. Not any old things. They have to be magically active. I know how to check.
That's not my speciality, Witcher. I deal in relics.
Got anything interesting there?
Ash from the stake where Sabrina burned. Nails that fastened the wheel of death. Splinters from the wheel. I've also got some metal parts and some of the martyr's garments. Whatever your heart desires.
We'll see in the next...
Relics are...
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? Others believe in them, that's what counts. They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. Soldiers shit their pants and throw up in fear before going into battle. If kissing a rusty nail gives them courage, then in my book, it works.
Where did you get these things?
Trying to compete with me? It's too good a business to share with others.
I found footprints at Sabrina's execution site. Do you know anything about that?
Why would I? You found them, not me.
Yet your boots are black from ash.
Shh. All right. What do you want to know?
Do you believe in the power of your merchandise?
You mean the relics? Others believe in them, that's what counts. They'll believe in anything that gives them hope. Soldiers shit their pants and throw up in fear before going into battle. If kissing a rusty nail gives them courage, then in my book, it works.
Did you see Sabrina's execution?
Sure I did. I was in the 5th Company. I remember the commotion when that idiot Yahon killed her with a spear. If only I had that spear now.
Do you remember the curse that Sabrina placed on the king?
When they set the stake on fire, she shouted something to the king. His face went red, but I couldn't hear very well. She probably foretold his syphilis. A gruesome death.
Where's Yahon's spear now?
I don't know. Besides which, it's none of your concern. I simply won't talk about that.
You know Yahon?
Never heard of him. Where'd you get the idea that I know him?
Do you remember the sorceress Sabrina?
Same as all the others. Looked like a young nympho, but an old hag inside. You want to talk about her? See that freak who burns candles?
So long.
for Sabrina, who died on the pyre! Help us! Thanks for your help, Witcher. We were in a tight spot there. The rot fiends are multiplying like rabbits. We were on our way to see the visionary, bearing gifts and all. But I'll be damned if I'll take one more step that way. Wouldn't be on your way to see him, would you? If you are, give him this coin for us. Do what you will.
Medallion's telling me something.
Been observing you for a while now.
And?
Just wondering if I can bring you in alive. I'd get a higher reward, you know.
Well, you can't.
Damned shame, I'd say.
At him! For the ring of gold in your pouches!
medallion's vibrating.
Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! Inside the candles! Quick! You'll be safe here! Over here! We're safe here. I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
Damn, you're ugly.
We're safe here. I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked.
Damn monsters.
I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
Rot fiends attacked them, but they managed to escape with their lives. Weren't up for any more adventure, though, and went back to camp.
You listen. I know those soldiers. And I know they do all kinds of nasty things. But not one of them would dare cheat me. What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them.
Now, back to some other matters.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though
No. So long.
I awaited them.
Right.
What you...
Yeah,
Listen, though I...
so long.
I awaited them. They were to come bearing gifts. I heard their cries. Guess they were attacked. If they're not here, they must be dead.
Rot fiends attacked them, but they managed to escape with their lives. Weren't up for any more adventure, though, and went back to camp.
You listen. I know those soldiers. And I know they do all kinds of nasty things. But not one of them would dare cheat me. What do you want from me? I'll not believe you came here by chance.
Yeah, you're right. I need to learn some things, and few are willing to talk. Sabrina Glevisig's story, that's what interests me most.
Listen, I'll not speak with you until I get my coin. Pure and simple. Though I do provide charitable help to the faithful, if you were to become one of them.
I've heard a lot of good things about you. All right, I'll become a follower.
Wonderful. Listen then, for I'll not say this twice. If your intentions are pure, you will do as I ask. Each convert must pass a test. You will spend the night at the old chapel near Sabrina's pupils.
Where?
Twin lakes I have named in her honor.
Is that all?
Before you kneel to meditate, you will drink the mixture I shall give you. You must then remember all that occurs. That's very important, as you'll need to recount it to me fully.
All right, I'll come back once I'm done.
Huh? What other matters?
I did what you asked.
Tell me what you saw.
We'll come back to that. So long.
We're safe here.
So long. Medallion's telling me something. I'm too old for this. Don't know that anybody needs to know about that one.
Huh? What other matters?
I did what you asked.
Tell me what you saw.
You may think I'm as mad as you are, but in my vision I walked through a forest where the trees were huge mushrooms and a giant chicken walked between them, pecking at the underbrush.
You have no idea how happy I am. I've been having this vision of a giant hen among mammoth mushrooms for weeks. I thought I'd lost it, gone insane. Turns out my herbs must have gone off. I'll need to gather new ones, but that's my concern. Ask me what you will.
You must know a lot about Sabrina Glevisig's death.
Sabrina the Martyr left the world of the living to protect us all.
Did you hear about the curse Sabrina cast on the king?
Of course. A well-deserved punishment, a ghostly spell from her crimson lips. The king concocted a cruel fate for the sorceress, humiliated her, made her suffer the flames. Bound to a wheel and placed on the stake, she suffered in a way unimaginable to ordinary humans. But when the flame reached her maiden waist, not a single cry could be heard, only words foretelling King Hensel's imminent demise. Let a shooting star split the heavens and mark its mortal journey with a braid of blood. Let fools be duped by the sight of fish scales, turned by magic into square pieces of gold. Let the unicorn violate 1,000-year-old rules, prompting a just punishment. Sabrina suffered so badly that a merciful soldier ended her torment, thrusting his spear into her aching heart.
Any chance of finding that spear?
It was so long ago, Witcher, but I believe the spear went to another soldier. The bugger sells relics from Our Lady by the Camp Inn.
I know who you mean. Why the candles? What's the difference between Sabrina and other mages burned at the stake?
Others were strong in life. Her power bloomed when death wrapped its steely arms around her. She took the soldier who ended her suffering under her kind care. He never had to fear walking alone in the dark again. Have you seen the area? It's full of beasts and monstrosities. Jahan, the merciful soldier, has walked in the blaze of our power ever since. No creature born of darkness can get close to him.
Now, back to some other matters. Who are you?
Our descendants will decide who we were when they see what we've left behind.
Is Jahan still around?
Jahan is dead. He didn't deserve to bask in the glory of the Lady.
So Sabrina's mercy has limits.
You don't know what you're talking about, Witcher.
The valley's been engulfed by a battle of specters. Know anything about it?
It's a place of horror. You can still hear the sound of steel and the cries of the dying. If you want to soothe their pain, you have to believe that Sabrina is watching over you benevolently.
I won't achieve anything without some memory tokens. Magically active conduits left by those who fell in battle. They're supposed to symbolize faith, courage, hatred, and death.
Faith. I don't know what those soldiers believed, but their faith didn't help them. They were deceived. Courage, hatred, and death. There was too much of all of them, especially death. But I remember a knight who, ignoring the danger, led a handful of soldiers against overwhelming enemy forces. Seltkirk of Gullet, Demaven's champion. When Vandergrift's cohort cut him off from the rest of the army, he attacked the visitor fearlessly. If you're looking for a symbol of courage, find Seltkirk's armor.
Who were you before?
What does it matter? Let the sins of youth fade into oblivion. Look at the candlelight. Feel it, and you'll hear what it has to say to you.
I can't hear a thing.
Then you're not ready. But your time will come. You will then hear and understand. Trust me.
Why do you need so many candles? Why not build a campfire?
This is Sabrina's flame. Its light protects us and guides us soldiers every step.
Did you rob a convoy of wax sellers?
I make the candles myself. I give them to anyone looking for protection within the flame of courage.
So long. What's going on?
Stay out of it!
Sabrina was a saint in her lifetime. Remember how she healed the wounded?
But now she's dead and can't help anyone.
I believe the visionary. Those who dismiss his words are doomed.
Doomed are those who take lunacy for prophecy and carcasses for holy arses.
What's this argument about?
I bought a relic to protect me from Scoia'tael arrows. They say I was ripped off.
That relic's rubbish.
Show me the relic.
What for?
I have a similar nail. Mine's rusty, but this one looks like new.
So what?
Told you! The seller ripped you off!
I'd like to talk to him.
Better hurry up, because if he's conned me, I'll chop his head off.
So long.
Relics, artifacts, trinkets and talismans, hallowed and highly valuable.
I know you have the spear Jahan used to pierce Sabrina's heart.
I told you about that, and I thought the old freak was trying to forget the sins of his past.
You know Jahan well?
He despises me now, but things used to be different. We were called up at the same time. We fought under Hensel together. But I managed somehow, while he hated it. Why did they send him to that ferocious battle? He was the worst dumbass in the entire army, but he outlived the best soldiers. Covered in shit, piss, snot and tears, and still he survived. He cracked when they burned Sabrina. A beautiful end to a fucking beautiful day. Then he went to the dogs. He pissed away all he had on drink. I was the fool who followed him and brought everything he pawned around the inns. That's how I got the spear.
I need that spear.
Tough luck, Witcher. I last saw it a few years back.
What happened to it?
Look how similar we are. You want knowledge, I want coin, and we both need help to get what we want.
How much?
What are your customary takings on a contract? I'll gladly accept but 1/2 of that.
Tell me about her.
After all, business is going well. You see, when Jahan lost his head for Sabrina, I bought the spear from the innkeeper. The donkey's ass pawned it in the inn. He drank like a fish. By then, Jahan had already hidden in the hills, where no one dares to venture. Some call him the visionary, but in my book he's just a nutter. Beats me why the beasts don't attack him. A fisherman who supplies the canteen said that some monsters hate the smell of fish oil. Jahan makes candles out of it.
What did you do with the spear?
Sorry to say I lost it in a dice game. Shame, 'cause today it'd fetch a good price. I lost the spear to a soldier who later fought the squirrels in the forests of the Pontar Valley. He told me he'd used it to kill some Scoia'tael big shot. I heard the shaft cracked as if there'd been some fucking jousting tournament. The most interesting thing is that big shot is still alive. I heard he's now with that vixen from Edirn. Some frigging commander. Elves are weird creatures. Who knows, maybe he still has that spearhead.
Yorvith.
You know him?
I'll tell you for 100 orens.
Bah!
So long.
What do you want, Witcher?
So long.
Well, it was here yesterday.
Huh? What other matters?
I talked to the relic seller. I know you killed Sabrina.
That man died long ago. I'm no longer a soldier, murderer, or coward. Sabrina set me free.
So long.
Hello. What? The whole camp's gone berserk looking for the coins. Grown lads with their arses in the air.
Freak.
I think I know how to free the king from his curse.
Well then, let's get to work.
Can't do anything until I have the spear the soldier stabbed Sabrina with. Problem is, it's in the hands of a Scoia'tael commander named Yorvith.
I know this Yorvith. Are you certain this is the spear?
Mm-hmm. I last saw him back in Flotsam.
Yorvith is in Vergen, Witcher, along with most of the Scoia'tael from the area. They've joined that peasant girl's insurgency.
Yorvith part of a peasant uprising? It doesn't make sense.
There's only one way to confirm or disprove it. You must cross to the other side of the mist. What of the other artifacts? Do you know them all now?
Not yet.
In that case, you must wait until you've learned everything before crossing. It's a dangerous voyage, not one to attempt twice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say. You must know a lot about the Wild Hunt, as one of the reigning majesties among mages.
I simply cannot concern myself with folk tales about corpses flying about on intensely emaciated steeds.
The Wild Hunt's no myth. I've got to get through the mist, or I can't lift the curse.
I shall supply the white flag when you set out as our emissary. The lass is reputedly honourable. She'll welcome you, invite you to a feast, and with a bit of luck you may even plough her.
You're sick, Deathmold.
They say she's very pretty. Peasant girls not to your liking?
Not your concern.
In case the elves lack an understanding of diplomatic symbolism, please also take this armour. With His Majesty's blessing, I might add.
A king's concern can be boundless when his life depends on that of another.
I spent some time working on this recently. This little marvel will guide you through the fog and provide a measure of protection from the spectres.
Thanks. I need magic powder to mark out the runes.
Are you aware that the formula requires powdered camphor resin?
I am.
Then you must also know that the resin is extremely valuable.
Get Henselt to pay you. I need the powder to do the exorcism, reverse the prophecy, and release him from the curse.
You should have said, I'll give you as much as you need.
Thanks, on the king's behalf.
I've one more thing you might find useful.
What's that?
You asked me for protective runes. I've done better. Take this grimoire, which details many. I believe there's even one for syphilis. I've marked my recommendations.
Thanks. See you.